James Webb just found something strange on TRAPPIST-1e. There are 7 planets orbiting the star TRAPPIST-1. 7 chances, 7 worlds, 7 opportunities for the most important discovery in human history. 6 have already been ruled out. Too hot, too cold, no atmosphere, no chance. 1 is still standing, TRAPPIST-1e, Earth-sized, rocky, sitting in the exact center of the habitable zone, where liquid water is theoretically possible, and James Webb just returned the most detailed atmospheric data ever collected on this world for full transit observations, more sensitive than anything ever pointed. A planet this size, this far away. The question that took humanity 40 years of astronomy and billions of dollars to even be able to ask is finally getting an answer. Dois TRAPPIST-1e habitable, undefeated dois white, because here is what nobody is saying loudly enough. If this planet has an atmosphere, it does not just mean one planet can support life. It means life is not a miracle. It means life is inevitable everywhere, around every star, in every corner of this universe, and that single discovery would change every religion, every philosophy, and every assumption humanity has ever made about its place in the cosmos. That is what is at stake today. 40 light years away, in the constellation Aquarius, sits a tiny, cold, ancient star called TRAPPIST-1, so dim that our sun next to it would look like a stadium floodlight next to a candle. But around it orbit 7 planets, all of them roughly Earth-sized, all of them rocky, all of them closer to their star than Mercury is to our sun. Scientists have been working their way through the TRAPPIST-1 system with James Webb, and the results so far have been mostly disappointing. The 3 innermost planets appear to be barren rocks with no atmosphere at all. One by one, eliminated, but 1 world survived every round of cuts. TRAPPIST-1e orbits within the stars. Goldilocks zone where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist on the surface, but only if the planet has an atmosphere to help regulate those conditions. Military.com. That last part is everything. No atmosphere, no water. Liquid waternoid. As astronomer Sukrit Ranjan of the University of Arizona put it directly, the basic thesis for TRAPPIST-1e is this: if it has an atmosphere, it's habitable. But the first order question must be, does an atmosphere even exist? That is the question James Webb went to answer. Here is the part most coverage fails to explain clearly, and it is genuinely extraordinary. James Webb reads a planet's atmosphere the same way a prism splits white light into colors. Researchers aimed Webb's an IR spec instrument at the system as TRAPPIST-1e passed in front of its star. Starlight passing through the planet's atmosphere. If there is one orb, the corresponding dips in the light spectrum that reaches Webb tell astronomers what chemicals are found there. Atlantic Council, think about what that actually means. We are reading the chemical fingerprint of a planet 40 light years away by measuring how its atmosphere filters starlight, not sending a probe, not visiting, reading light. And here is the detail that makes TRAPPIST-1e uniquely powerful to study. For stars like our sun, no telescope will be capable of doing this for a generation. For smaller, dimmer stars, we have only recently developed this capability. Thanks to James Webb, Provdonato, TRAPPIST-1 being small and dim is actually an advantage. The dimmer the star, the bigger the relative drop in brightness when the planet passes in front of it, and the easier it is to read. Webb's infrared instruments are giving us more detail than we have ever had access to before. The initial 4 observations of TRAPPIST-1e are showing us what we will have to work with when the rest of the information comes in. Al Jazeera. And what those 4 observations showed stopped the scientific community in its tracks. Scientists are confident the planet no longer has its original hydrogen-helium atmosphere. TRAPPIST-1's constant flares stripped that away long ago. But that is actually the first critical clue. Earth lost its original atmosphere too, through volcanic activity and billions of years of chemistry. It built an entirely new one. The atmosphere you are breathing right now did not come with the planet. It was created after. TRAPPIST-1e may have done exactly the same thing. MIT researchers confirmed it is unlikely to have a Venus or Mars-like atmosphere, narrowing the possibilities to one compelling scenario: a warm Titan in the habitable zone. Permanent on staring directly at its star. Not confirmed, but consistent with every data point collected so far. Now here is where this story gets genuinely complicated. James Webb detected hints of methane in TRAPPIST-1e's spectrum, but the question is it coming from the planet's atmosphere or from the star itself? The same star that makes TRAPPIST-1e easier to study is also contaminating the data. Sukrit Ranjan of the University of Arizona was direct. The previously reported hint of an atmosphere is more likely stellar noise, but he added clearly, this does not mean TRAPPIST-1e has no atmosphere. We just need more data. So scientists built a solution. Kingsley. More transit observations are planned using a technique called dual transit. TRAPPIST-1b, the innermost airless planet, is observed back-to-back with TRAPPIST-1e. Since 1 billion has no atmosphere, any signal it shows is pure star noise. Subtract that, and what remains is the planet's true signal. The answer is coming, and this Chimiacline, the very star that puts TRAPPIST-1e in the habitable zone, is also its greatest threat. TRAPPIST-1 produces flares more powerful than our Sun. Constantly, the worst geomagnetic storm ever recorded on Earth was the Carrington event in 1859. TRAPPIST-1e experiences that level of bombardment twice a week, every week, for billions of years. That should make habitability impossible. Might also be the spark that starts life. Sam Farsi, destroyer and creator simultaneously. Aina Glidden of MIT said it clearly. It is incredible to measure the details of starlight around Earth-sized planets 40 light-years away and learn what it might be like there if life could be possible there. We are in a new age of exploration. Al Jazeera. James Webb was not designed to study planets this small. It was built long before even new worlds like TRAPPIST-1 existed. And yet, there are only a handful of Earth-sized planets for which it could ever measure detailed atmospheric composition. Military.com. By the end of this year, we may finally know whether TRAPPIST-1e has an atmosphere. Like and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we find the answer in our lifetime?